Welcome to the World of Warships with Captain Yamo. I am your host, Captain Yamo, and this is the Tier 6 Japanese battleship, the Fuso. Or maybe I should just call her Godjirra and get it over with, right? She is incredible. She's my favorite battleship so far. I'm up to Tier 8 in the Japanese line and Tier 7 in the American line. I'm just saving up credits until I can get to North Carolina. And hopefully that'll be an improvement upon the Colorado. Which, honestly, it isn't that bad a ship. It's just not that good compared to some of the other ships at that, the other battleships at that tier. So let's take a quick look at what we have here. We are in a Tier 7 match. We have a slight advantage in battleships. It looks to me like we have a slight advantage also in cruisers, and they have a tiny bit of an advantage at destroyer. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. This is actually pretty closely matched. I had no complaints about it, although lately I've been noticing there's a lot of not great matchups. You have two Tier 7 battleships on one side versus, a bunch of Tier 6 or 5s, and I don't know, just some odd groupings. So as usual, taking a look at the mini-map here, I decided I'm going to start heading south and set up a firing line so that I can cover as many of these points as possible. And we'll go ahead and try and take some early shots by launching our spotter plane. I don't know how you feel about the spotter aircraft in the battleships. I think that they take a little too long to reload to be real useful. I know you can get the second level one. You can get the upgraded spotting aircraft, but it's another 22,000 credits. And I play to make money because I'm trying to go up a bunch of different lines all at once. And word of warning: the shots in this match I take, not my finest hour. I really wasn't using my lazy-eyed gunnery. It's kind of weird how it was all stuttering like that, wasn't it? These really aren't some of the best shots that I'm taking here. And because I'm recording the audio after the fact on this one, I'm not able to talk about lazy-eyed gunnery and how I'm using it or misusing it pretty poorly here. And so yet another barrage that just totally misses the point there. And if you take a good look at what's going on the map there, we have ships in A and B. We had them in A and B. And we're actually going to take a pretty strong position right off the bat. Finally get a little hit into that Congo. And because the Congo is sailing into a nest of destroyers, I start thinking after this shot, I start thinking that maybe I ought to start focusing on the Furutaka. I think the other problem is I really wasn't trusting my lazy-eyed gunnery. But we got two okay hits in finally, and it really seemed like more of those should have hit. But that's dispersion and RNG for you. So we've captured C, we've captured B, we're working on A, and the guys down at A do a fantastic job down there. I know I'm about to fire on the Budjini, but let's take a peek down here. The Murmansk. We got a Farragut, Omaha, the New York I think was taking shots over there, and they did a fine job taking A. I get a hit into him, decent hit again, but because he turned away, couldn't sink my teeth into her. Some fava beans and a nice Chianti. But it doesn't happen. And while those shots, while I had the proper lead on the sims, I guess I was just a couple pixels off, and a 12.7 kilometer shot on a destroyer is a difficult shot. But practice your lazy-eyed gunnery, and you'll get it. And I guarantee you, once I've had a couple more matches in the Fuso, it's just gonna get better for me. I'll start trusting my ranges, and not use my eyes as much. See, these are gonna go way after that Fuso, mostly. And so you can see I just adjusted my aim for the lead there. The Fuso's suddenly going to come to a stop because she's getting torpedoed there, so those are going to miss pretty badly. I got 2 hits, but you only do like 3,000 points of damage out of 2 hits. It's kind of a bummer. So now with I think it's the New York. The New York is over here capturing A. I start heading south by east, so I can start engaging these guys over here. We got a nice big cluster all around C. Look at this bad shooting. So there I am adjusting my lead. You got to expect that you're going to miss some shots. It'll happen. There's a 250 meter... Oh, see, look, she's slowing down again. She just took torps, but I wasn't paying enough attention to adjust my lead for that. You have to expect that you're gonna miss some shots, right? I mean, that one I don't blame myself too much for. I should have noticed what she did last time she got hit by a torpedo. She slowed way down. And now she's bleeding. She's flooding. She's not going very fast. I think this time I finally read her speed pretty well. And the way you do that is by watching their smokestacks. You should be like if you're about to shoot on a ship's broadside, you ought to be paying attention to whether she's about to turn. Is she paying attention to you? Is she firing on someone else? Pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention. That's all there is to it, keeping your mind in the game. And so we're still holding all 3 spawn points, and we're doing really well. I get a lucky citadel shot there. And there's the Hatsuharu. Which I think I call it a Matsuki later. I try and take away a tear from her. And when you're in these kind of situations, you should always be kind of you should be evaluating the ships that you see to figure out which ones are the most dangerous to you. And that Hatsuharu, after missing her shots on me, she's going to do something that I think is pretty smart. She can see which way my guns are pointing. There's no way I'm not being spotted. And right now the enemy is up on us. You see that? We've got 5 ships to their 7. They've got a 2-ship advantage on us. And seeing the way my guns are pointed, you'll notice the Hatsuharu starts heading south by west. And this is a real smart move. I can't really do a whole lot to her with my guns pointed the other direction. We're almost at we're at 650 points to their 280. We are down some ships, and that's not great, but we're doing pretty well other than that. And it seems like we can just wipe out a couple more of these guys, and a couple more hits like that. Boom! And we've got this. Look, now we're up at 730. We're 500 points up on them. And if you watch my speed and you watch the way I'm changing my heading and stuff, I am aware that that Hatsuharu is south of me. But since she doesn't want to reveal her position and make me angry, or at least that's what I'm assuming, that she's going to focus on just trying to ambush torpedo me. Look at that. That one's brutal. Some of those hits could have been pretty fantastic. So I lose my Pensacola escort, and now with the Hatsuharu within 6 kilometers of me, I figure I better really start paying attention to what's going on here. We've taken down one of their ships, but we've lost another ship, so it's 4 on 6 now. Ugh. RNG, you mother... Try and keep this PG. My children tend to listen to this, so... Oh, well, sometimes they listen. I won't say they tend to. But that's alright. Hey, look at that! We dodged some torpedoes. It's not hard to do, although they may not have been aimed at me. They may have been aimed at the Omaha. But I would have dodged them anyways, because I know that every minute and 35-45 seconds or so, that Hatsuharu is going to be firing torps at me. You can see I've loaded HE to deal with the situation. And then my hand starts to pop up. Now with 2 destroyers in close, I launched my spotter aircraft, and I don't like to shoot from the spotter aircraft view, but it might help me notice torpedoes a little early. It might get me out of some trouble. And boom! That'll get you out of some trouble. Anytime you're on the battlefield, especially if you're in a battleship, there are destroyers looking to pound you with their torpedoes. And you're a fool for not changing your speed or your direction every minute or so, if not, every half minute. And if you keep watch on my speed, you'll see I shoot way down on my speed, I shoot way up. Look at that. They've captured C. But look, we got 825 points. We're down to 2 ships, and they've got 5. Double checking for those torps, but they ran out of gas, which is good. And not one of those hit. I just went long. She turned into them, and that was it. And at this point, they're going to try and take out my Omaha escort right here. And here we go. This is where it gets hairy. We're at 900 points. We still control 2/3 of the map. I fire off a last shells of HE. Get a good hit on her. And then I swing back north and east to start engaging the Congo, the Budjini, and the Furutaka. Now the Congo can do tons of damage to me, but I ignore her because the Budjini can keep firing and firing and firing. And these aren't great shots, but if I hadn't already started to aim in on her, I would have, no, I guess they weren't that bad. But only 2 hit, it looked like more would hit. I should have shot at that Furutaka first, but I'd already aimed in on the Budjini. And so now I'm going to aim at the Furutaka because I want to decap. We're going to let that fire burn for a bit. It's just one fire. And that's another one where, I got 3 hits, but I really felt like if I'd have just aimed a hair better, I could have saved myself a lot of trouble. We're at 915. Of course, now they're capping A, and they're taking B from me, too. There There we go. Get the Budgeony out of here. That's my 4th kill. And now it's 1 versus 4. My next target would absolutely have been this Furutaka, but I think she gets wise and stops firing at me and runs off. Maybe I get shots off on her. I can't remember. Oh, I love that sound. Just pound, 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 pound. And look at my speed. It was down to a quarter. Now I'm up to half. I think I go back up to full speed. Now I know that annoying little destroyer has got to be trying to figure out how to get torpedoes into me. But we got to defend B at all costs. And so I take some shots at the Congo now. Shadow Fury over there. Here's the Furutaka. We're at 986, and now they've stopped us from capping. And so I'm going to start angling my ship. And just spraying. And look, she takes a really smart turn. Orsinus? Orkinus? Orkinus? I don't know. That was a good turn away. But would have been a much better move for her was to flee. We're only 14 points away from a victory, and they hold all the cards. They keep chasing me. They keep setting me on fire. They've got something. Oh, there's some torpedoes. Now look, I was starting to change my speed and my direction, but you'll see that the Hatsuharu made a really good guess on where I might go, and I couldn't get out of the way of that. So I have to use my repair now. Down to 9,161 hit points. But I got a repair coming. Well, I knew what I needed to do. All I have to do is sink that stupid little Furutaka. And here I am trying to aim. It clicks on the New York. Nope. That was weird because I was aiming at the Furutaka. And look at that. Yes! Yes, 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 indeed. What can be said about that match? You gotta focus on the match. You gotta focus on the game. They had all the points captured. Everything was in... The ball was in their court. What they had to do is they had to sink me. They had to sink me without dying. And that Furutaka, he shouldn't have been there helping. He should have let the Congo and the New York and that Matsuki or whatever it was, the Hatsuharu, should have let them take me on. But there you go. 434,000 credits. 5,097 XP. 1,020 free XP because we got Confederate. We got, that's Solo Warrior. Hey, look at that. That's like the Kolobanovs of World of Warships. I'm going to take it. We had Confederate. We had the Kraken Unleashed. We had 2 devastating strikes. We had horrible shooting. That's some of the worst shooting I've done yet. But, you know, if it works, it works, right? If you get the win, you get the win. We had 57 direct hits. We had 8 incapacitations, 5 ships destroyed, 1 set on fire, 2 Citadel shots, and defended the base 6 different times. We cleared 2,192 base XP, 5 enemy ships. I love it. I love it. That was a fun match. We did 81,909 points off of 47 AP shell hits. 16,000 points of damage with our HE on those little tiny destroyers, and some of those shots were at pretty good range. That was so... I'm kind of jumpy right now. I'm all excited. I got the adrenaline rush going on. It feels good. We took 31,898 points in AP, 5,445 in HE, and you know, for all of the cruisers at the end there that were shooting at me, it seems like they should have done a lot more damage to me than that. It took 10,894 from the torpedo hits. So we made 362,052 credits times 1.2 minus our repair and refit. We had 381,676 credits, almost 400,000 credits in one match. And our base 2192 with the premium bonus got us to 3,288 with the 1.5 for the first victory and the 0.05 for the red, white, and blue flag I was flying. And we ended up with 5,097 XP. That was a that was a fun match, man. I gotta tell you, you get yourself into a match like that, and you get the win. You're feeling pretty good afterwards. I'd like to thank you for joining me on the World of Warships with Captain Yamo, and I hope to see you on the digital high seas.